Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is another video that qualifies to the series of Don't Connect the Dots. So I have a series of Don't Connect the Dots where I will provide you with evidence, data, pictures, and I don't want you to connect any dots in order to reach the wrong conclusions. And usually it's about one particular subject that we in the free world, which is the Western world, we're told, where free press and free humans are roaming around, we're told that we cannot even discuss in real terms, that is sometimes pointing out certain things that are very uncomfortable for them. So that subject has to do with them. Now, what do I have here? A guy called Jake Tapper, he is, I think, a CNN anchor, was allowed to write a book and publish it, and obviously right now is after the fact. Miss Jake Tapper, I will show tapeworm, as Mike Dice calls him, right there. He was allowed to write this book in which he tells us who actually ran the United States of America under the Biden administration. According to Mr. Tapper, and not only according, he just confirms something that most of us realized: Mr. Biden, the president-elect of the United States of America, was not running because he was very tired. You could observe his decline, cognitive abilities and physical decline on display every week. When he was having an outing, he was just bad. Well, in a democracy, we're told that the elected officials run a society. Elected officials represent the public, the citizenry that voted for this person, not his advisors. He picks supposedly the advisors that advise him, and he makes a decision in full cognitive ability and splendor. So now we are allowed to be told, we knew that, who are the people behind, who were the people who are really in charge of the United States of America, which is a crime. Because if you sideline a president who should be, and you are the guys who are in control, that is a subversion of democracy. And remember, we always protect and defend democracy against Trump, against the far right, against the whites and all that. Okay? But in this case, no, it's a-okay. And I will give you names. I will give you origins of those people in Biden's administration, in Ukrainian administration, and in the current Trump administration. I will give you some names, and I want you not to connect any dots, okay? And then I want you, when you're gonna see a pattern, I guess, but don't connect dots. Compare that with how many Romanians, how many Hungarians, how many French, how many people from Honduras, or from my people from Zimbabwe, okay, are represented. And we're told the minorities are underrepresented in public office. Remember, we have a minority here of less than 3% and others of 12% and others less than 1% overrepresented in our administration, Biden, and even I think in Trump's administration. So let's start with two articles that will tell us who actually is in charge. This is the one that triggered it all, and it comes from The Independent. Here it is, The Independent. Biden's White House Chief of Staff made all the big decisions, was nicknamed Prime Minister. Book. So this book, this information was known. This fact was known while Biden was in the White House. The people who knew and hid it, I think they should be prosecuted. I made 2 videos regarding exactly that, when I demand tribunals to be set up for people to see if they committed, something illegal. Including Miss Jill Biden, who Trump wants to be prosecuted, actually not Trump, the Department of Justice wants to prosecute her because of adult abuse charges, which I was claiming a long time ago in 2 of my videos. So let's see who this mysterious guy is according to this mysterious book. And here it is. Former President Joe Biden's White House Chief of Staff was referred to as the Prime Minister in administration because he was the one making the big decisions, according to a bombshell book. Jake Tapeworm, okay? So he was allowed to write this book. Now, he is from, right here, his parents are Jewish, okay? Remember, Jewish, Jacob Sher, whatever. Oh, this guy. I told you many times that regarding the Ukraine war, Ben Shapiro and others of the same stripe, don't connect any dots, will be allowed to write a book. And the book's already written, I'm assuming. It's just the numbers and the dates that need to be figured out. When the order will be given for them to give us the truth. They are the messengers, they are the they are the people over there, and so on. And I guarantee you, they will be all best-selling books. I could have written Mr. Taper's book probably 3 years ago, with the same piece of information. But I guarantee you haven't heard of it. You wouldn't have heard of it unless you would have dug deep into Amazon books. So, who's this person? Jack Taper of CNN and Alex Thompson of Axios shared damning revelations about the alleged cover-up of Biden's mental and physical decline in the book Origin Sin, President Ron Klain. So this is the first guy, who they say is the guy who served as Biden's chief of staff from the start of his term until February 2023, was thought of having prime minister status. Why? The prime minister is not elected, all right, by people inside the administration because the president was so, quote-unquote, limited. That's a euphemism for incapacitated, according to Thompson. So Ron Klain, is this Ron Klain? Where are you? Right here, Ron Klain. He's a Hillary Clinton guy. Okay, early life, we find out that Klain is Jewish. Don't connect any dots. Remember, don't connect any dots. We're going to go further. And that's about it with this article. We're going to go to another article which comes from Sputnik, from the Russians. Who really ran Biden's White House? Do you know who this guy is right here? This is the former foreign minister in charge of the U.S. National of America foreign policy, or Secretary of State. His name is Antony Blinken. Antony Blinken is also like Klain and also like Tapper. Okay, I will show you later. So we have here this person who they say this is the person actually with others. I have the list, and here it is. The Autopen presidency likely had a shadow cabinet and one Clinton loyalist possibly sat at its core. Plus Mr. Klain, don't forget about Mr. Klain. Now, do you know what Autopen is? When you might have been informed by the media operatives that Biden signed into law something, or an executive order signed by Biden, those were stamped pen, auto pen. You know, like you do a signature and you put a signature over there. It was not he. And people say maybe he did not even know what he was signing because they were just making it and he was like, give me ice cream. Okay? That's the auto pen, just so you know. Well, it says here, while DC whispered about Jill Biden, adult abuse, and Jeff Zients pulling Biden's strings, one name kept resurfacing in the shadows. Hillary's longtime fixer, Obama's policy architect, Biden's de facto gatekeeper. Wall Street analyst Charles Ortel drops a bombshell. The name is Neera Tanden, Biden's former staff secretary and domestic policy council director. So who's that person? I will show you. No worries. And don't get too excited about because she is of certain kind of ancestry. Don't get crazy about it. Here she is. Remember, the whites and the minorities. All right, here's the political part. This is the person right here. Great, great, great. Early life. Born Papa, she was brought divorced, Jipokapa, Zapakapa, and we find out, where are you, baby doll? She is from where exactly? She has a brother, his name is Raj. Immigrants from India. Indians in America are a minority, just so you know. So she's a minority right there, correct? Correct. All right, you want to see something else right here? She proceeded by whom? Jared Kushner, he's Jewish. Stephen Miller, he's Jewish. And Ivanka Trump, wannabe. All right, so let's go back here and get the list. And at the bottom of this, you find she didn't act alone. Wasn't the only one shaping US policy behind ailing Biden, says Ortel. He points to Susan Rice. She's not okay, she's not, but she's not I'm going to show you. She is not a majority, she's the minority. Right there. Now this picture is deceiving because a lot of light was put on her face. Well, more likely like this. Okay? Again, Susan Rice, she's what exactly? All right, see where she comes from. Because, you know, the minorities don't have anything. All right, she is born right here. Paparaka, and we find Jamaican immigrants. Oy vey. All right, another minority at the helm of the United States of America. Hey, the whites are the ones. Okay, we got that one. Let's go in order. Jeff Zients. Sounds familiar? I want to show you Jeff Zients. Jeff Zients was the White House Chief of Staff after Mr. Ron was out. Mr. Ron was out and Mr. Zients was after. And this guy, his family is Jewish. Next one. Let's see who these guys have. Now, all right, we have Ron Klain. We already have the baboon. We have Robert Bauer. Okay, Robert, very, 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 right here. He's laughing in your face. Do I need to go and see his anything else? Do I need? Yeah, I will. All right, early life. Oh, born in New York to a Jewish family. That's why he's laughing, I guess. Next one. Anita Dunn. Now, Anita Dunn is a little bit more tricky. Why? Because if you look at her, you say, okay, but if you look at her early life, all right there, you don't find, the same pattern. But because I'm not an idiot, I say her uncle was the moderist composer. So what do? Let's see Mr. Milton. And for Mr. Milton, we go to his biography and we find that he is also, that most likely she is also. And in order to make this point, I have some friends here. One of them is Barbra Streisand. The other friend is Madeleine Albright. And you got her, or I don't know, Pam. And we go further. Let's go to the Ukrainian composition of the government. Elected president, prime minister, former defense minister, and the current chief of staff, which is Zelensky, Shmyhal, Reznikov, and Yermak. All of them Ukrainians. All right, let's start with the first baboon. But before that, let's use this guy because I failed to go over him, which is Mr. Blinken, okay? Antony Blinken, the former Secretary of State, who was portrayed in this picture in the background, remember? Not the shoes, but like always you try to find it. Right? This is Zients, by the way, the guy who is. And the other one is Blinken. Where are you, Blinkenstein? Because that's so. There you have him, Blinkenstein. Where are you, Blinken? Right there. And we find out that to Jewish parents. He is the foreign minister. All right, let's go further. This is the president of Ukraine. Jewish. This is the prime minister of Ukraine. Jewish. Shmyhal. This is the current chief of the presidential office, Mr. Yermak, whom I called Mr. Weinstein. Jewish. And we have Mr. Reznikov, the former defense minister that he got the money and left. He was never prosecuted. And here are my videos. This is one of the videos where I said, Mr. Miller, who I like very much, he's Jewish. That's okay, man. I mean, they're good and bad people around us. Smacks US media baboons. Discloses who ran Biden's White House. All right. So this was made by me. Where is it? And February 22nd, 2025. And this one right here, those who knew and hid Biden's cognitive decline should be prosecuted. 5 people running the country. This is, I made this, I think, yesterday, if I remember correctly. All right, if this guy cooperates with me and doesn't. May 18th. And I'm not over. Here, this is the current, how do you call it? He's a billionaire, isn't he? He's an American billionaire. Howard Lutnick. He's the current Secretary of Commerce of the United States of America. You will see this smiling in your face guy around Trump all the time. All the time. Like this guy here or Mr. Zients. Where are you, Mr. Zients? I think you're in the other one. Right here. All the time. Next one. Do you remember Stephen Miller, my friend? I like Stephen Miller. I like him. He's also, you know, oh, let me just show you so you don't think I'm lying or anything. All right. Son of Solomon and Jeanne Lieberman. Got it? Do I need to go further than that? Solomon. All right. Lutnick is of Jewish descent. All right. I have no problem with that. I'm just giving you information. And then we have Mr. Stephen Miller, who I like very much. And he's from Ashkenazi Jews, right? If you want to go here, from Belarus, Pakca, Buf, Trokoskopu. And I'm not done because, as I said, here we have the Mr. Stephen Miller is an advisor. Remember, Mr. White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, and I like him. Now we have this guy, Witkoff, who is with his brother. He is the American Trump's Middle East envoy, this guy. So this guy talks with the Iranians, this guy talks with everybody in the Middle East, but he is also Jewish, my friends. And we're going to hear to Rice. Now, I don't want you to connect any dots. Right? And if you connect any dots, connect the right ones. Everything I said here, everything is factual. You see it over there. Now, that's why I say don't connect dots, because you can't think freely. Because if you think freely and they disagree with your conclusions, then they have a problem with you. But the facts, they can't dispute those facts. Those facts are over there. Now, did you see in the initial article from Sputnik, the people over there listed? How many of them were from the majority? Remember, those guys that you're not supposed to connect the dots are less than 3% of the society. I know. When it's advantageous, they call themselves whites. When it's disadvantageous, when it's have another advantage, and to be called white is a disadvantage, immediately they call themselves differently. Read their Talmud to see their self-identification. And you're going to find out about the religious community. Religious community in quotation mark. Okay, my friends? And let's go to those 5 I said, right? Those people. How many of these guys are from the majority? Biden is the only one who is the incapacitated. So we are hijacked, the majority. So are Susan Rice? No, a minority. And I can go on and on with everybody that I listed. Except this guy who's in a majority. And I would like to know why. Where are you, baby doll? Right here. This is the only one in the majority in his country. And that's great. That's great. He is the majority. In his country, there's no Iranian chief of staff. There's no Palestinian chief of Mossad. There's no Palestinian or Iranian or Lebanese president or prime minister or defense minister. No. Why? Because that's the way it should be. But over there, that's fine. In here, no, it's not fine. We have to be, diversity is our strength. Somehow the Israelis don't want to be strong, it seems like. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Don't connect any dots. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.